What's up, everybody? I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
And you're listening to another episode of Liquid Kernedge. What's up, buddy?
Oh, nothing much, my friend. How are you?
It's good. It's now the middle of July in Arizona. It's not nearly as hot as it could be. The monsoons are delayed. It is the All-Star break week for baseball, so there's nothing on TV at night right now. So I am completely bored out of my mind. So I'm glad we're recording this week's show.
Oh, I am too. I am so glad. And last weekend was a great episode. We had a lot of people that really enjoyed the episode and made comments on it about what's on your tombstone. So I thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, and you know what? We've had a lot of social media interaction this week too. We posted a meme talking, not even a meme. I think it was an actual article. I just took the screenshot of it. Of that, some women think it's kinky and sexy if you release a bee into the room while you're having relations, and we got a lot of feedback on that, and a lot of people just giving us the wow face that that's even a thing. Which we're not endorsing it. We're just as surprised as you are that someone would consider that thing that kinky. But if you're down with it, hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, all at Liquid Kernedge, and tell us why you like that and just about the experience. Because I want to know why the hell you want to release a bee into the room while you're busy doing other things.
No, I think if you release like 50 bees, then that might be something. But one bee, I mean,
it's weird, right?
Well, I guess it depends. Unless you're doing like a gerbil thing or something, then that might be kind of kinky.
Well, let's not get all Richard Gere on this. That's kind of awkward too.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I mean, and that's where everything falls off the tracks. I'm just gonna give our executive producer Tom a quick plug while I gather my thoughts. Hit Tom up on Twitter and Instagram, all at liquid_EP. Tell him your thoughts on the bee situation. Tell him about your favorite Star Trek episode, classic Next Generation. He's a big Deep Space Nine fan, so just talk to him about Star Trek. He'd love to talk to you about that.
Well, I had a big weekend this last weekend because I made it up to Kingman, Arizona. We had to get some furniture moved, some house cleaning, and of course, to see our friends in Kingman. Yeah, the Kingmanites that mean the most to us.
It was a great weekend. It was a fun weekend getting to see you guys. I do want to apologize to our listeners because we are supposed to do a drunk history when we're in the same town together, but schedules just did not work out this time to make that happen.
No, I might have to just make a special trip, dude. I just might have to make a special trip.
I think you've been promising this special trip for a few months now, but it's cool, man. It's whatever.
That cut deep.
It's supposed to cut deep to let you know that I'm still thinking about it. I'm still willing to hold up my end of the bargain, but I cannot hold up my end of the bargain until you make the effort.
I know, but hey, that's why we're friends, man. We love each other, and we try to make sure that we fit into each other's, schedules and stuff. I just didn't do a very good job this weekend, but I'll do it.
I know you will. I have faith in you. Otherwise, until then, I'll just keep telling my barber Josh, our friend of the show, every 2 weeks when I get my hair cut, Jason's working on it. I promise he's coming. We will record this in your studio or in your barber shop.
I think there's an important acknowledgement that I need to throw out there because the first night that we were there, it was the 4th of July, or the first day we were there was the 4th of July. And we obviously went to the intern's house, JP.
Yeah.
And
got a
JP,
great house for an intern.
Yeah. So, we've been cleaning all day. We're just tired. It was just one of those days where it's like, I'm so exhausted, but we need to stop by. And we cleaned up. We go over there expecting, I don't know, the usual suspects, 5 or 6 of us. What was there, about 20 people there?
20, 25, yeah.
25 people there. And Noreen and I got invited to be the 8th team of an 8-team cornhole tournament.
Right.
And for those of you who don't know Noreen very well, she's a really, really, really good bowler. But when she plays cornhole, she bowls the bags. She doesn't really throw the bags, she bowls them. So she's never been very competitive, and frankly, I think that's why she's never really wanted to play.
Yeah.
But for some reason, 1 or 2 vodka cranberry juices into her, and she became a freak.
She
did amazing.
She was lights out.
Yeah, she was lights out in the cornhole tournament. We came in second place because we lost our edge at the end. I think I'd been drinking a little bit too much more, so I was seeing 2 holes instead of 1. But it reminded me that this is why I love the 4th of July, for these kind of get-togethers. I love it's warm. People are barbecuing. People are bringing chips and dips and cookies. And but I think what shocked me was how many people were there.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been busy. We've been doing work while you're gone.
Yeah, I guess so. You build the crew. In fact, it was pretty weird that we were the ones that no one knew. We had to introduce ourselves to everybody.
Yeah. That was completely unintentional, I promise. But it's one of those things where that's what happens in life. It's life happens. People, you make new friends. People get married. They start dating someone, so they start bringing them around or whatnot, and you make friends at your job or in our case, the gym, and we start hanging out together. And it becomes a blended extended family, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember one conversation in particular too, that it kind of, it made me feel like they were absolutely right when they said it. So I'm talking to this couple and I was asking them, well, how do you know, Scott, or how do you know JP? And their response was like classic, like, hey, we met them about 2 years ago and they started inviting us to this, but they're the kind of people, and they have the group of friends that once you get your foot in the door, you never want to leave. You want to be part of that group of people hanging out together and doing things fun together and making memories together.
And that's really cool. And I appreciate that they said that, but I hope you can rephrase that to where it doesn't make it sound like JP and I are together as a couple. It's just the sex.
No, it was more of just the friendship group in general. Like I think that but it got me thinking. We take it for granted, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been hanging together now, gosh, over what, 13 years, 12 or 13 years, something like that.
Yeah. A teenage level.
And we can chalk up. I mean, I don't even think we can count how many get-togethers and dinners and barbecues and going up to Kowalska Fest up in the mountains and all the things that we've done over the last 12 to 13 years that we just come normal. That's just part of the normal interaction of friends.
Yeah, it's what we do. Yeah, and that's true. And we take a lot of that for granted. And I think that's kind of spurred on. That kind of what you saw over the 4th of July is that, having people that you can rely on and hang out with, and you come and go. Your life happens, but you always have a place to go. And I think it's that home feeling that we try to create, or kind of inadvertently gets created as a result of what we do and how we handle things.
Wow. I think that you said it the best way, and I think it stopped me there for a second because of the way you said it. I just got me thinking more about it, and it that camaraderie is more than just even buddies. I mean, it's a true, you say, you don't choose your family, but you choose your friends kind of deal.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this is. This is us choosing the people we want to be around, and it's not necessarily people that work in our fields or have the same, common interest across the board. It's people that you get to know and respect and like for who they are and what they do and what they bring to the table in your life.
Well, I mean, I think about even our executive producer, JP. I mean,
Tom's our executive producer. JP's our intern.
Oh, I'm sorry, intern. Oh, gosh. Okay, now
That's
I'm in trouble.
fired.
I just got fired.
That's gonna make the list.
That's gonna make the definite list. You'll get a special treat on that one. But
yeah.
I think about our intern JP, and even he. I mean, if I didn't start working at the hospital, I would never have met JP. Yeah. And if I didn't know you, you would never have met JP. And can you imagine our inner circle not having JP in it?
Well, no.
I mean,
it'd still be quiet, but there'd just be nobody checking his phone every 5 minutes.
Oh man, now, who's gonna give it worse, the executive producer or the intern on that one?
I think the intern's gonna get it worse on that one. I kid. He's family at this point, so I can say that shit.
But I mean, those relationships started very innocently. I don't want to say innocently, innocuously. Nothing major. You met JP when we went to Chewy's.
Yeah, that's right. You went with your department out to Chewy's one night.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I tagged along, and long story short, he brought 2 30-packs to a party we had the next weekend for Labor Day, and he never left.
Yeah. Yeah. And like in this group of people, I mean, some of the people I didn't know, and some of the people, I'd never met before, but
Mm-hmm.
you could tell that they were quality people because of the people that invited them to come to the party. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we know Scott, we know JP. So you're like, okay, well, you have instant street cred because I love those two guys. So obviously
Yeah,
you can't be too bad.
we like to think we don't hang out with lowlifes and street thugs, but sometimes you have to associate with those types to make sure you get certain things done. But these are not the people like that. These are very upstanding people that we have a tremendous amount of like and respect and love for.
Well, and I think about here, I'm in Phoenix now, and I can honestly tell you, I've been here a year and a half. I have nothing that resembles the Kingman crew. Nothing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't hang out with anyone except Noreen has one friend that she became friends with through her work, and they've kind of invited us to family outings and stuff. And so I've gone, but it's definitely not. It's definitely not the same. I think maybe I'm wondering if it's because of the big city too.
I think when there's it's that big city versus small town factor, and no, not that we're a small town, but when you have so many more people in a confined space, if you will, that have so many different interests, their lives are going a million miles an hour, your lives going a million miles an hour. You can literally do whatever you want, whenever you want in a place like Phoenix. You can't do that where we're at in Kingman. I mean, you have limited options for things you want to do. But you have great people that you find time to spend that time with doing those finite things or creating your own things to do.
Yeah, well, and like there are times like I think our friends Kelly and Rob moved down to Phoenix,
Mm-hmm.
and they are. It sounds like they're social all the time. She's got social people at her work. Rob's got social people at his work, and they've basically created a group of friends of a network of friends down here. And I'm thinking, wow, I'm impressed. Like they've really taken it on that step to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and you have to want to do that at your pace. You guys moved down there and you had to find your house, that you have your house, and kind of get your life in order with everything and get yourself situated. And I think there's no right or wrong way to do it. I think you guys are just moving at your own pace, and really, uh, you kind of homebodies as it is anymore. So it's not like it's a death-defying thing for you guys to be out searching for people to hang out with every weekend.
Well, and how often does a group of close knit friends come together that are not linked to we all work together, we all go to the
Exactly.
same church together? Like our group is definitely we come from all different walks. We did not all work together. We didn't go to church together. There was we don't have kids together, so we kind of built it naturally just from this friend knowing this friend, they liked each other, and so then this friend kind of liked each other, whereas a lot of people have work or they have kids or they have church, something that brings them together.
Yeah, and there's just the only common thread that we have really is bad jokes.
Well,
um,
and looking good.
yeah, we look good. We look good telling bad jokes, and I think that goes a long way.
That's right.
I think in our world, for those that have never met us, but I think those that some of our listeners that have had a chance to tag along in some of our events understand that we're all very open for the most part and very extroverted. So there's nothing like, and it's a feeling that hasn't happened in a while, but even you can attest to this. Back in those days when we were in the bars a lot, where you and Dino and I could walk into a bar and within 10 minutes have three different circles going, making people laugh, telling jokes, and then bring everybody together, and we're doing our impersonation of the Rat Pack.
Was I Shammer Jabbers, baby?
Exactly, and that's one of those things where, and that's what I think that's a friendship that I don't think people really understand when they get it right away, but it's something you have to appreciate when you find it. And the psychologists say that if you've been friends with someone for longer than 7 years, it's basically you're gonna have that friend for life. And we're people that have all been friends for going on 10+ years now. So, I mean, I like to think that we're. Hold on a second, Hank. That's gonna get a note. You can edit that out.
Oh, do you want me to? Because I don't mind keeping that.
That's fine. Keep it in there. It adds.
It adds to the podcast.
It adds to it.
Hey, at least you didn't get, hey, you
Yeah.
filth, Florida filth.
See, I stopped myself right there.
Yeah,
But
you're doing better.
Yeah, I think it's rare to find a social circle like we have, and I think it's rare to find a social circle like our EP Tom has, where you can rely on people and they're there because of similar social circumstances or just life reasons. Whether people are getting married, getting divorced, having kids, you still find ways and to stay together and make that effort to hang out together, even if it's not as often as it used to be.
So tell me what you think of this statement. Most people nowadays base their friendships off of the number of likes or followers they have.
I would agree with that some people need that social acceptance in their mind through social media, but I don't think that should be the case anymore. I think it's dumb.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm wondering because how many people think, oh my gosh, I've got so many friends on social media. I can't believe this one person who's supposed to be my best friend treated me like this.
Yeah.
Or I can't believe all these people and I'm having a crisis and only one or two people, all my friends on Facebook give me time of day.
Yeah. And, it's interesting to me that I think when it comes to social media, yeah, you can have a lot of friends, quote unquote, but a lot of them are just acquaintances or people through the people, not people you're generally friendly with on a regular basis, just more or less the acquaintance level, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think that in today's world, that sense of home that we're talking about, maybe that's why when people recognize it, they gravitate to it. Like the couple I was talking to, like they understood. No, I know what superficial friendships are, or I know that when life changes, the friends I had in this life no longer want to be with me, and I'm in, versus stability of friends, through thick and thin.
Yeah, and I think that's the trick of getting older, because as you get older, you keep smaller circles and you trust less people, but the people you do trust, you trust more. And it's interesting, since I binge watched Stranger Things season 3 this weekend. It was an amazing season. I accidentally watched the season finale Saturday night late when I thought there's 10 episodes. Turns out there's only 8. So I finished about 1:00 in the morning, a lot later than I wanted to. I was going to finish it on Sunday, but I digress.
You can listen to one of our previous podcasts if you want to know more about binge watching.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a show on that, but that's truly the show. That show is based around friendship for teenagers, and their circle grows as the show grows too. And it's not just needs based; it's based on just your interests are growing and varying, and the stuff that you were interested with your friends at 12 years old might not necessarily be the same stuff at 15, but you're still friends with them and you still have those common bonds, and it's still something you need to nurture. And I think that's the basis of that show. And I think that's the basis of friendship that a lot of people are forgetting about today. Everything's so disposable in this world that you take for granted those little things, like having a close friend or having people you can rely on and trust more outside of just your family.
Well, I think even our group has experienced where something bad has happened to one of us. Maybe it's self-inflicted, maybe it wasn't self-inflicted. Or maybe, we got into a relationship that took us away from the group for a time, but we always felt comfortable that we were going to come back and we weren't going to be like, I don't think any of our close friends have ever said, you know what, I'm never talking to those people again, ever.
No,
never.
I'm sure a few have come close to when it comes to me, no. But that's completely different. That's just business. I don't think anybody would blame them based on some of my comments or actions over the years. But
all I know is, Scott, you're the glue, buddy.
No,
you're the glue.
I don't think I'm the glue. I think I'm just the outspoken one.
I'm the rubber. You're the glue.
So
bounces off me, and everybody sticks to you. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. It's cool to be at this point in my life and have people like that, because I don't have a large family. I don't have a family that's necessarily cohesive. Outside of my parents and brother, I could really care less if I talk to any of my aunts or uncles. I do talk to my cousins. But I'm terrible at that. Ironically, my brother is terrible at communication with everybody except my cousins. So it's almost flip flopped. And it's nice to know that I still have people out there that I can go hang out and talk to about anything and anything and have fun doing things with, whether it be going to midget wrestling or whether it be going to ball games or watching football on Sunday or talking about Stranger Things. There's all these different avenues of conversation points for me.
I have a friend, and I affectionately call him Denver Dean. So he is my best friend from like young life in Alaska, and he is still my best friend. I call him Denver Dean. And one of the things that has been difficult is he is not quite the communicator like I am. Mm-hmm. Like I reach out to him. I remember his kids' birthdays, his wife's birthday, his birthday, their anniversary. I send cards, as you know. I keep in contact. I call him. He has never been good at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wonder, gosh, maybe our friendship is, it's from the past, it's not anything that's current. So why keep in contact with him? But I remember and recollect that he is one of the few people I have who knows me from my days before being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And that camaraderie, that connection with knowing that that person knows me.
That's hard to
longer than anybody else. I can remember the fun stories of growing up with him, and I can be reminded of times that are now long ago. But it's the connection to those remembrances. Now, not to the same amount of time, but our friendship, we can sit back and remember things from 10 years ago, and it brings us back that historical feeling of, I've been here for a while, and these people know me back when I was someone different.
Yeah. And I think that's what's so appealing about those long-term friendships, and something that people that just take for granted is they knew a different version of you and they're still choosing to be your friend, because everyone's always saying you need to keep learning, you need to keep evolving, you need to keep pushing yourself to be better. And that's great. And I fully encourage and embrace that. But sometimes you just want somebody that knew you back when. And if you can laugh about some of those dumb things you did when you were younger, some of the stories you can tell, some people can relate to that, man. And they got a story, and then you start swapping stories, and then beers get exchanged. And that's how you make friend circles, because everybody's dumb when they're young. Even the young ones today don't realize how dumb they are. And that's how we make friends, because we make fun of the young people. It's a circle of life.
We do, because they do the same stupid things we did 10 years ago, man. But we've already seen it.
Yeah. We could sit in the bar. You could sit at that party last week. You could sit anywhere and watch the young kids think they're hot shit, making all the mistakes in the world. But in their mind, they're fucking rock stars, and they're making memories. And you have to appreciate that. And at the same time, you're making those memories by talking to the people at the bar about the dipshit out there.
The one thing that I always remembered from our parties was when the new people that came to the group later than we did would be introduced to MC Hammer.
Oh, right. For those that don't know, in our younger days, we still have him, but he's long since been retired.
He's probably been dusty for about 4 years.
Yeah, it's been longer than that. MC Hammer is a 6-foot beer bong that we have that can hold a 24 pack and has 6 tubes. So it can do some damage. And in our harder partying days, this was 9-10 years ago, we would bust them out every party by the pool, every late night party after softball games. We had no problem busting them out. We would go through 30 packs like nobody's business. Now we still have them, but it's almost like it's a tribute to the days gone by.
Yeah. Well, and you still have them though. So now
I don't have him. He's at JP's house.
Oh, he's at JP. Okay.
I don't have the beer bong in my possession. I don't think I need that, but
nah, we're past that now.
Yeah, but I know where it's at just in case.
Exactly.
I can always go and break the glass.
So if there was someone out there, or you were in a position where you wanted to try to get in with a group of friends like that, how would you do it if you were the outsider at this point?
Man, I don't even know. And it's interesting because I make friends all the time. whether I mean to or not. And it sounds cocky to say that, but you just talk. I'm a natural talker. I talk to people. I like being around people, especially when I'm working at the gym. So I make jokes. I have a very quick wit, and I get people laughing. And next thing you know, I've got friends.
Or you say, hey, I will say that's one thing you're really good at. Hey, we're going to Chili's. Why don't you come?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. And they come. And then, hey, then they find out, oh, we're having a barbecue afterwards. Oh, okay, well, I'll come there too. And then next thing you know, they're invited to every little thing.
Exactly. And that's just, some people just end up sticking, and some people wash out because they like the other circles better. I mean, and that's fine. I don't care. We got part-timers. We got full-timers. And that's how every social circle is, I think. You just have friends that are hanging out for certain reasons and other friends that you go through some serious life shit with. And I think that's what we have the pleasure of all of us in our social circle. And I'm sure people can relate to this in their social circles. We've all gone through shit together, whether it be breakups, meeting our significant others, death, job loss, job gaining, you name it. But those significant milestones that you can lean on people and share with them, that kind of bonds you,
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's even different than a family bond. I mean, like we've said, I mean, you don't choose your family. I mean, your parents were your parents. You didn't have a choice in that.
Mm-hmm.
They love you. You know that you can count on them. But a random group of people that were total strangers at one point that now are, even if I say the lifeline that you have always available to you no matter what, there is a difference. There is a difference.
It's absolutely crazy, but it's a feeling that once you get, I don't think most people want to trade for the world.
We used to do the second Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
We'd have Thanksgiving with your families. And then the week before, usually it was like the Saturday before, we would have the friends Thanksgiving, and we'd all bring food, and we had a huge Thanksgiving. And that was Dean's comment all the time: "This is my chosen family."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just think that was the one thing that I took from coming up to see, it was nice to see you and Sam and Taylor and Dean and Danielle. And it was nice to see everyone. And I had a great time. That was the one moment that got me thinking that, yeah, this is what I miss most. I mean, I love the big city. I love the amenities of restaurants and bars and things to do and the weather. But that's the one thing about Kingman that I really, really miss.
Yeah, it's always, no matter where I go, what I do in this life, it's always the people that I remember.
Yeah.
And, I know you give me a hard time about wanting to go out and go do other things, and my brother will occasionally too, but I like where I'm at. I like where I'm at because of the people I have around me. I can go do this wherever, anywhere else in the world too, and make new friends, but I like the ones I got. And they like me. So
they like you. I mean,
yeah. And trust me,
chance.
sometimes I think they wonder why they like me, but
my mom used to joke on every birthday of mine. Well, I guess I'll renew your contract one more year. See how you do.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to renew your contract one more year, buddy.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, Jason. And I'll put you on the same plan.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, we might have some serious negotiations some years.
We might. But you know what? I think we're good. And I think we're going to be all right. But we're coming to the end of our show. So before you take us home, I want to wish everybody a belated happy 4th of July weekend, even though we're a week late to the day of the release of this. I hope you kept all your fingers, all your toes. You didn't do anything stupid with fireworks, and you enjoyed yourself. And as we cruise to the halfway point of the summer, enjoy yourselves. Take the time. Go hang out with your friends. Go hang out with your family. Do something fun. Because we have a lot of fun things planned. You need to have some fun things planned. And eventually, we're going to get to that Liquid Kernedge drunk history. We're going to get the Liquid Kernedge road trip in. We're going to do a lot of things now that life's getting settled for Jason. And as soon as he gets a written permission slip so I can take him out of state.
That's true. That's all I need is permission slip.
That's it.
That's all. That's it.
Now, with that said, Jason, take us home.
Hey, thanks everyone for listening. We really appreciate you. Do us a favor. Reach out to your best friend. Reach out to a friend you haven't talked to in a while and just tell them, hey, I just listened to a great episode of Liquid Kernedge. Got me thinking about good friends and how much I miss you. As always, that was Scott. I am Jason. And if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some Liquid Kernedge.